Hello, Loretta, yet again.
Happy Queen's or King's Long Weekend.
King's Long Weekend. And here we are in Sydney in the thick of winter, and it's getting cold, and there are projects.
It's feeling warm. It's warm in here.
On totally. That we're going to address for viewers. Over to you. You choose.
Well, questions have been coming in at how do people calculate the royalties? You know?
On audiobooks.
Obviously, they love their story and they're passionate about their story, but money is important too.
Absolutely. And I think we've gone through a number of scenarios where we've shown demonstrably how audiobooks are the biggest selling sector of the whole publishing world. In fact, it's almost unprecedented. It's like double-digit growth over the last 12 years. And that does not seem to be abating. It's just... this is the way that people are reading, and that's just a fact now. And also we're dealing with a whole demographic that isn't usually reached. So when I talk to authors who are considering, and publishers who are considering audiobooks, one of the things I let them know is that this book, even though it's been in ebook and print on demand for a while, will get a whole new audience through audiobooks. Because a lot more male readers and a lot more younger readers and older readers are accessing.
People can multitask.
And people can multitask, and they've almost like been trained up via podcast. So podcasting has become more popular, you know, in the last 5 to 10 years. And then suddenly people go from bite-sized podcast to, I want to read a whole book. Yeah,
definitely. Other questions that I've got written down.
Yeah, the royalties.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that's where we started, right? Yes, the royalties. The royalties are it's such a fascinating area. Like, I don't want to know anything about it because, firstly, at Audiobooksradio, we don't take royalties. And I don't know how unique that is, but certainly in the publishing industry, everyone you deal with takes some royalties. I refuse to. We refuse to, because I think that authors and publishers get dealt enough of that scenario, and we can be the producers. So I wasn't really interested in royalties but I wanted to know, because people were asking me, what do I get? If I'm going to dish out this amount of money to have an audiobook produced, what do I get in return?
I think my take on it too, is that often people that approach us are kind of looking for where's the hidden fees. I think they're a bit skeptical because you say, no, we don't take any royalties, but there aren't any. Like, what you see is what you get, and that's... Yeah.
And look, I dealt with an author that I respect very much, in the last week, and she was really upset because she was saying, well, I don't understand. I actually don't understand, where these royalties, who is taking the royalties, and how much do I get left with? And I think at the end of the conversation, what she realized was that we, at least in our quadrant, don't. And so everything is clean. All the costs are up front. So the fee that we quote is everything from go to woe. Everything from you will find your voice.
Go to woe, go to woohoo.
Oh, you should be marketing. Right to the very end, to the upload. And that's the other thing. Like sometimes I get questioned with, you've got, e-alchemy that you work with. Very clearly, there is no financial relationship between me and e-alchemy. We have chosen to work with each other because e-alchemy just comes with so highly reputed and swift. So my authors get a priority when we do our books with Andrew. They will get a priority to be uploaded as swiftly as possible on every global platform.
I am going to jump around a little bit
though.
Go
for it.
I am in that habit of doing it. But that does lead to something that's happened recently, where separately one of our authors has used a different agency
Yeah.
to upload, and it's taken a lot longer. We won't name that agency, but
and look, it's fine. Like, because there is no contract between me and eAlchemy, I just use them as default because I know they're going to do an amazing job. However, if somebody has their own distributor or another method, that's not a problem, because the quality and the upload value of each of those files that we deliver is global. So we can do it with anyone. But I know that the book that we used, the other distributor, went up much more slowly.
almost 3 times the length.
Yeah. But really, it's up to the author. The author has, in our scenario, just like full control. They're the director of their fate, and we'll give them advice and do the best we can to make that vision happen.
And it's hard. It's hard when you're in that initial, position, and you haven't been through the process. And there's so many sharks out there. Really, it's hard to know who to trust.
Yeah, look, I hate to say that, but I've had to. From the things that we've discussed, we've had a few rescue missions, and we've done that recently, and it's been fine. It's been great. Like, for instance, we had some people who had recorded their own material, and the standards were actually okay. We didn't have to fix anything. Sometimes we do. Sometimes it's like, I'm sorry, we cannot use this level of sound or quality of file. It will actually be rejected. Yeah. So we're just wasting your money if we say that we can do it. And it'll take forever. They had been sitting on their recorded files for a year, not being able to distribute it confidently, given it to a couple of situations where it didn't happen. Now, within 4 weeks, we had all their books up on every platform, and they were just thrilled to bits. And I was very excited to be able to help them do that. So I think what I discovered in the last few weeks, that even though I've wanted to be purist and only do my method and take people from, give me your edited, beautifully published book and I will produce it and put it up online, I have been more than happy to deal with people in different situations and help them get out of the hole they're in and be able to get their books produced. So even authors who just sort of say, look, I'm just totally convinced I have to do my work. I have to narrate it. I have to do it. And that's fine. We've got a pricing for that, and we can help them do that. It really is about you as the author or the publisher needing to do what you do, what you think is right, and finding yourself within this thicket, this world, because it's a new one for Australia. Yeah. A lot of publishers don't have an experience of audiobook production in Australia, and we've been working with publishers now in different ways to help their authors. And publishers have got different relationships, and I can assure you, if you're a publisher out there, we can get on board with you and your authors so that you're respected as the publisher and credited as the publisher. I'm not a publisher. And make sure that your author's work is represented in the best possible way and produced in the best possible way.
Don't want to be a publisher. There's enough.
That's their stuff. We produce audiobooks and do it. That's the fine point. We should talk about Kind Press.
I was going to say, there's enough happening, and there's quite a few projects on the go at the moment. 3 projects, and one of the, I think, very exciting.
They're all exciting.
No, but like
a new relationship.
Hello.
Yeah, we've got a new relationship with a publisher. So we've had Spin Effects, and we've loved the relationship there. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing where that goes. We've produced Cheryl Adam, the Lillian Zedon, and that's in the process of being uploaded. And it's just a wonderful book, and it was a wonderful experience. It was done within 8 weeks. And so we're very happy with that. They're happy with that. Now we have another publisher called Kind Press. And what an amazing relationship. Like, I think Natasha Gilmore, who is the person who's been my contact there, and I have just sort of like been thrilled to have met each other, orally, by sound, and come to an agreement that we work very similarly, which is that we both focus on the author. And she specializes in books that are about enhancing the human experience on the planet, and a very successful publisher. And we are their preferred provider at the moment, so I'm just so happy about that. And we are dealing with the first cab off the rank, and that's with an amazing book called The Balance Theory by Natasha Piccolo, who is a speech pathologist and has produced a book that's been in print for a little while that she channeled during a period of great grief. So there's this beautiful mix between being, on the one hand, a scientific person who's a speech pathologist and very practical, and somebody who's channeled messaging and an intuitive sense of how to deal with both, clients and the world. That's called the balance theory, and that looks at the universe as being a kind place. And it was like, your beliefs be what they are, but everyone who has, we picked a portion of Natasha's work as an audition piece so that we can send it out. And almost everyone who was involved who did
Quite
the audition,
touching.
just sort of went, I don't care if I get this job or not, I want to buy this book. It was just, there are some books and some words that are put together that have a kind of like glow about them. And so we couldn't boil it down to any less than 6 people on the short list. So Natasha is looking at that over the weekend. And I think she's having a lot of trouble.
Good trouble, the trouble that we like.
Good trouble, as in not knowing. And this is the difference that I think our point of difference is that we get a relationship going between the author and the narrator. That's carefully curated, of course, so that both of them get the most out of the experience without taking up too much of their time. And once that's established, the narrator and performer really feels a lot more invested. They get the energy of the author, and it's kind of inculcated into the work. It makes a huge difference. They know who they're working for.
There's that beautiful intimacy to it. That connection.
So I'll use an example. At the moment we're doing Our Tom by Emma Galton, and that's a beautiful First World War book. It's based on Emma's historical notes that are accumulated within her family of somebody who was in that First World War period. Now, her chosen narrator, David Alt, is actually someone in the UK, which we don't usually do, but Emma really wanted this David. She'd been following him on podcasts for years. So I was delighted when he accepted this role. And he was a little bit like, in the beginning, I introduced him to Emma, by Zoom. He goes, I'm not used to this. I'm used to just getting the book and we just do it. But then all of a sudden I could see the whole click happening. Emma was so excited to meet David, and David suddenly, I'll give you a quote of his, is that he finished the last chapters and he said, can you please tell Emma that I had to keep on stopping and starting this particular last few chapters because I was so choked up. So, there were things happening, obviously, and he was emotionally invested, and Emma was thrilled. Firstly, as a writer, as you know, if somebody is affected by your work, you're just delighted. That's your mission is accomplished. But on the other hand, it was also spreading this kind of drama and involvement in the story to a person who is bringing it to life in sound that hundreds, thousands of people are going to hear. So that's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
And
I think maybe even too for David now, maybe it changes the way that he goes about the narration too, like that distance between the writing that you receive, and you're a trendsetter, Maria. You might be
very accidental, very
landscape.
accidental. But there is that difference between doing a job professionally, and doing it with a kind of circularity and involvement. That this is a very personal process. A writer sits down and writes, and there is a lot that goes into that. And the listener, is the person that you're talking to. And then suddenly you've got a narrator as well. They're the third party, and they are the person who's translating it. It's a very intimate and beautiful process. Yeah. I always want to honour that. Absolutely.
Where are we at now?
SFX.
For those not in the know, special effects.
Special effects. So, and again, we need to credit Emma for this. Emma Galton said, I'm not the kind of audiobook listener that, unless a voice is riveting, and she chose a riveting voice for her ear, I get bored. She said, I need to hear things happening in the book. So if this is my book, I want special effects. I want trains, I want steam trains, I want music from the period, I want bombs falling, I want crackly newsreels and radio stuff in the background. And we sat down and had a production meeting with the audio engineer and Emma and went, okay, how's this going to work? First of all, we can do anything basically, as long as you've got the money. And I'm just using Marty's words. He's going, well, I can do anything for you. I can put a sound effect in each sentence, literally. I can make the whole thing like a radio play if you want. But there were two questions, and these are the things that I learned from Marty. Are you producing a radio play? Are you producing a script? Or are you producing an audiobook? So how many sound effects can you have, or music effects can you have, and it's still an audiobook? It's still the book that you wrote. And then how distracting is it? So that's the teasing point, because this is definitely a book. It's not a script.
But I suppose it's a hybrid landscape.
It's a hybrid landscape.
We're certainly agile, and we're happy to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And if it's what the author wants, it doesn't matter in terms of labeling what it neatly fits into. It's bringing to life the story that the author wants.
And yet there was that tipping point that we did discuss quite deeply, which is we want enough sound in an audiobook, which is classified as an audiobook, that we make it, that it enhances the story and does not veer off into tiring the ear. Because if a person is buying a book, they're buying the book experience.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I think we're still teasing out that landscape, but Emma is totally on board. She's amazing. Yeah. So she's actually finding the kind of sounds that she wants and going through the book. And we are doing that. I'm just going to be so interested to see Emma's book come to life.
It's almost, in a way, you get some of those books and you get to a page where it's like there's a rough bit of paper to touch, or there's like a nice furry thing for a pull out. There's a flat to lift up. Like this is
or a little 3D thing that happens.
This is the audio version of that, like the pushing it.
Yeah, it is, and we're very willing, and we've got the team to be able to do that. And then we had an appointment with a person who actually didn't have a book, but had a television script that he had created. And he wanted because everything is dialogue virtually, he wanted the whole thing completely, I don't know how to say it, like completely ear focused. So you're listening to the dialogue, but you're also listening to people walking across the floor, people,
very much radio play.
Very radio play.
Yeah.
So you're turning a television script into a radio play and making it a rich oral experience. And yes, we can do that. A little bit of a thing though is that this fellow really wanted to sell this on Audible. Just be aware, and it's not a big, hurdle. You have to have a Kindle version at least of the same work in order for something to become an audiobook. we can do that. This script, we can certainly turn it into an audio kind of, into a Kindle version. We've got the layout methodology and we're able to deliver it so that it can come out, and there's a kind of copyright thing that goes on because an audiobook needs to, something that's sold on Audible and other like platforms like Kobo and Google Books and Apple Books and Spotify, needs to be a replicant of the print or, you know, digital version of the book. That, I don't know why, but that's just the rules as they are. So we can definitely do that. That's not a problem, but you just need to know it.
We've learned a lot of rules along this.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of rules. So I think we've probably gone enough. Like we're
almost. There's something I keep looking at over there.
Russell.
And okay, let's.
Albert Gormley. It's beautiful verse novel. Our first verse novel. It's just so lovely. And we have the most amazing narrator who was chosen for that. There was Samantha Russell, who's a wonderful voice, beautiful voice. I definitely thought for some reason that because of the nature of this verse novel, which is like a saga, you know, that it was going to be a male voice that Albert would choose. And he chose Sam because she's got those resonant tones and really majestic way of explicating this beautiful book. And it's almost completed in terms of audio.
That was quick.
Wow.
It's very quick. I've lost track of this one, but
that happened very swiftly. It's about 25,000 words.
Oh, goodness,
So it was, and Sam is like one of those exceptional narrators. Like she did half an hour straight with complete no mistake.
My goodness.
In one file. Like Marty said he'd never seen anything like it. Like, it was like extraordinary. Yeah, just
amazing.
prodigal. Yeah, so we're just very excited to get that ready for Albert.
Yeah.
You know, these are legacy projects. This are, you know, people like Albert and you know, with the Psychology of Plants with Terry McMullen.
Yeah.
These are works that both these people have had in their possession for such a long time, and being able to put it on a platform which is going to give it such longevity. No reprints necessary. It's a one-off cost, and it will be up on those platforms forever. Yeah. And it's their legacy to the future and to their generations that come. And I'm so pleased to be part of that.
And will there be a party for Dr. McMullen?
Dr. McMullen is having a launch party. I'm just very honoured to be part of that. Yeah, he's a wonderful man, and he's part of the Old Rocks push, and he's going to have his whole crew there from those days, the 60s people as part of this launch. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be beautiful. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thanks everyone, and we'll match up with you again next time.
Bye. See you.
Bye.